Hello, good morning. Welcome back to the sewing room. I have a lovely guest star 2 weeks in a row. This is the very lovely Erica Lee, if you guys don't know, from Lavender and Twine, but I'm sure by now you're very aware. So Trisha says, hey Peeps. Hi Trisha. Caroline's here. Happy Sunday, Sean and Peeps. Hi Caroline. Claire says, hope that you have a great hangout. Have to pop out for a while. We'll catch up later. Awesome. Pamisi, I've just had a notification to say that Kittenish Behaviour's gone live, so that's good. Pamisi says, he's here. Hello everyone. Pamisi, I think it's, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I do seem to always get yours wrong. Priscilla, did I get that right? Tristan's here. Good morning and happy Mother's Day. Oh, of course, it's Mother's Day. Yes, it isn't in the UK, so we had ours a while ago. But yes, happy Mother's Day to all that celebrate today. Monica's here. Good morning. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you guys as well. So I have the lovely Erica here until Wednesday. You're abandoning me on Wednesday, aren't you?
Yes.
You have been here for nearly 2 weeks though. So.
It will be a full 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think your husband misses you, doesn't he?
Very much so.
Yeah, he wants you home.
Yeah.
He's been sending us Marco Polos of like the sights of Seattle, trying to entice me to come visit. And it's no enticement needed. It's just literally like, when am I coming? So
just say when.
Yeah. I was saying to Erica yesterday, it's one of those ones where I've got it in my head that I'm like, if I'm going to America, I need to go do this and then this and then this and then this, and it ends up like a 6-month trip. And it's like, I'm allowed to go more than once. I mean, probably I won't do anything that will not allow me to get back into the country.
Yeah, we'll see.
I would probably behave myself.
They'll let you back in.
I think so. Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be. I'll definitely have to go and see Lorianne and Larry though, because they're in Oregon, which is the state down from you, isn't it? And I'm aware that probably means the length of the entirety of the UK, if not longer. But you know, you kind of like, I'm in that vicinity. But then saying that, then Candy is down in Santa Cruz in California, which is the next state down.
Yeah, but that one's way farther.
Way further. Yeah. So maybe that'll be another trip. See, this is the trouble. I'm like, oh well, I'm here, so I might as well try and do all these things. And it's just like, actually, it's much bigger than you think it is. Lots of people saying hi. Debbie's here. Morning, Shine and Erica. Did you made it home all right, Debbie? Have you recovered from your week of excitement? I'm actually going to put my jumper back on. I'm going to be doing the same thing I did yesterday, where it's just like, I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold. Currently, slightly chilly. We have got the doors open, and apparently it is only 17 degrees. 18 degrees it's gone up to now. But, yeah. So, we yesterday went to, I can't believe it was yesterday. It feels like it was a million years ago. We went to the Stitching Elmer's in Ryde, and it was a really nice way to round off the retreat, wasn't it?
It really was, yeah.
It was a good way of getting everybody to the right kind of side of the island, because the retreat is on the very south coast, so it's like as far away from civilization as you can get. And sometimes it thinks you're in France, which is always interesting, especially if you set an alarm. But it was kind of a nice way of getting everyone up to sort of near the ferries. And we bought fabric.
And then we got fabric.
Yeah, you can just see a little bit in the corner here.
Shall I bring it out?
Yes, please. Okay. I thought we'd do a little fabric haul, because Erica doesn't do fabric hauls on her channel, although
I don't really have much on my channel except for the tutorials for my patterns.
Yes, if you guys had a look at the different introduction videos to the different patterns that Erica's got up so far, because it's really nice seeing how different people have interpreted the pattern. It was saying the same for the retreat. It's really nice seeing the different fabrics that you guys all picked, because there were so many different, I mean, how many? So 9, 10, 11, because Rachel and Paula both made 2.
Right.
But it was really interesting seeing the different combinations that people put together. Yours is,
and the same bag can look so different.
Yeah. I keep trying to persuade her that this one's for me, but she's not having any of it. Look how beautiful. And then it also has, I won't show too much of the inside, but
that's okay.
Blended threads on the inside, which is not showing up at all, but absolutely gorgeous. I am addicted to blended thread fabrics in as much as I like everything that they come out with. I haven't got any because I can't afford it. Because once it's a print on demand, isn't it? Well, print to order.
Custom print.
Yeah, print to order. You pre-order it. They do sales of like excess.
They have retail events, but it's usually like how fast are your fingers kind of a thing.
And mine are not ever that fast.
It's hard to get your hands on some.
Yeah, I think I might have to plan for next year for when you're coming over, like one really special one that I grab myself some of and have sent to you, because it's the shipping and the customs fees. Mind you, that changes a bit. I hopefully my order wouldn't be over £135. But we know what I'm like. We know what I'm like. Oh good grief, we've just been chatting away, and now let's catch up with the chat a little bit. So Jane says greetings from Bristol. Michelle says hello and happy Mother's Day. Monica says good morning, Sean and Erica. Sonia says hi, Sean and Peeps. Happy Mother's Day to all who celebrate today. Pamisi says sorry, it's always out the ring when you ask. It's Pamela. Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. I do get it wrong. There is a Priscilla as well, but I can never, for some reason, those two names will not stick in my head. Thank you, Pamela. And I will forget for next week. You know I will. I need to write my cheat sheet down. Sonia says hi, Erica.
Hi.
Rachel then says good morning all. Good morning. Michelle says hi, Erica. It sounds like Sean is doing a US tour. Yes, and I could maybe fly back via Bermuda. I mean, like my poor little Michelle was in Bermuda. She's going to be hopefully coming to the main retreat. It's on her bucket list next year. Yes,
I love that idea.
We may have exciting things to tell you about that, and I hate it when other YouTubers do this and it's like exciting things that I can't tell you for ages. It's just like I've just done exactly that, but hopefully, fingers crossed, touch all the wood. There is wood in here now, not just IKEA furniture. Pamela said, yes, I've read that one. Where did I go to? Adele says morning. Good morning. Debbie says almost recovered. Yeah, same here. Nimue here. Hello, everyone. I'm home. Yay! Hello. I'm glad you made it all the way home, Nimue. Nimue came all the way from Germany, bless her. All the way from Seattle, all the way from Germany. We had someone from Malawi. So, we were very international this time. Very international. Great. Oh, got hair in my eye. Fun times. Karen says, good morning, Sean. Hope you had a wonderful birthday and that your sewing retreat was a huge success. I mean, I think it was.
Yes.
I haven't even released the dates for May next year and it's already half booked. So, I think we did good. The lovely Anna is here. I have just missed out a comment from Trisha. She says, you bought fabric. Wow, that's a surprise. I will show you mine later because I also have birthday fabrics. I was very, very kindly given many, many different lovely presents. Erica's husband actually knit me a scarf and it's gorgeous. And he learned to knit on the scarf?
Yeah, he started in September. I basically just taught him how to cast on and then he went for it.
So I opened it and it was just like, oh wow, this is amazing. So I'm going to do a little kind of video of all my birthday loot because I've been thoroughly spoiled. Trisha said, I've read that one. Nimue says, going to leave you for a spot of soup in a bit, but I'll be back to unpack my sewing stuff later. Well, thank you for coming and saying hi, Nimue. Anna's here. Hey, Erica and Sean. Happy live. Hi, Anna. It was so lovely to see you. Your photos from Osborne House as well. Just put another set up today this morning. It's just like, so Erica really wants to go.
Yes, I do.
We keep coming up with all this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then we're going to do this. And
make a bag in there somewhere.
Make a bag. And you just have to stay another week.
Okay, done.
Yeah. Except if the husband's watching, he's like, no,
he will be watching later. Yes.
Sorry. Have stolen your wife. Monica says, a stunning bag, Erica, isn't it? Debbie says hi to Nimue. Jojo's here. Morning all. Hope you're all well. Hi, Jojo. Hi, Jojo. Yes, Jojo made it home okay as well. So awesome. Jodie's here. Hello from the garden. I'm planting delphiniums. Very nice. Nimue says hi to Debbie. Hope you had a good trip home. Karen says good morning, good evening from Australia. Good evening. Debbie says to Jojo, hi Jojo. Kate E says, afternoon, lovely to see you both, enjoying each other's company so much. I know it's going to be so lonely in the sewing room when finally the last person leaves. It's not just me and Mum.
Yeah.
Until next time. Elena says, hello, everybody. Debbie says to Nimue, I did, thanks. Hope you did too. Bethany says, hi Peeps, spent the morning floor trolling, making a pattern for James's next LARP. Oh, nice. And I loved all the photos from the Bath ball, Bethany. Your dress looks fabulous. Haley says, good morning from Virginia. Good morning. Nimue says, don't forget to like the stream, Peeps. 79 of us and 31 likes so far. Yes, Rachel was so excited that she got to say that live. She was like, oh, I did it. Noelia says, hi Shannon, everybody. Hope you're all well. Very well, thank you. Caroline says, a retreat is on my bucket list, but can't do first week of the month because of work. Oh, okay. Well, for the next May one, I can look at the second week of the month. Would that help? Because I haven't booked the dates yet with Ruth. I only do the beginning of the month because that's usually what she has available. But I can certainly have a look for the second week of May next year, Caroline, if that works for you. Michelle says, lol, well, if you get to the East Coast, I can make that hop too. New York is 90 minutes by plane. Hint, hint. Ooh, see, this is the trouble. Now I want to go to New York so I can go to Mood and meet up with more people. It's like, I'm in the States, I might as well do it all. And again, I will be there for 6 months. Rachel's here. Good morning, lovelies. Good morning, Rachel. Nimue says, hi, Rachel. Debbie says, morning to Rachel. Rachel Lynn says, well, if you're making a tour of the States, you'll have to come to Florida too. Beach day. See?
Lots of Florida to see.
Yeah. I love Florida's the only part of the States that I've been to. And I have been to Key West for a day, and I have been in Fort Lauderdale, but I haven't stepped foot in Fort Lauderdale. I was one of the only people that stayed on the ship. But yeah, that's the entirety of my visits to the States, is like the southernmost point and then kind of waving at Florida. Josephine says hello. Yayan says hello, beautiful peeps. And Rachel says, morning, Nimue and Debbie. Miss you both already. I know.
Aww.
It feels like it was like ages ago.
It really does.
It was just last week. Like how? I saw
it
you
was
were all
yesterday.
here yesterday.
It was yesterday.
I could touch you all yesterday, and now you're all so far away again.
Yeah.
But yes, would you like to see what Erica bought? So these are all going to be bag linings, aren't they?
For the most part, that they might venture onto the outside of the bags. But this one's super pretty because of the dimension. I love the dimension of these flowers.
I love the tone on tone.
Monochrome,
yeah. And would you be pairing this with like the kind of burgundy more, do you think? Or would you go with maybe the tan?
I actually think this might look good with one of the blues.
I was just going to say, actually,
one of the blues might work really well
with
that.
The marine.
Because orange, I mean, it's got kind of an orangey tint, and orange and blue are opposites on the color wheel, so they attract.
That is a very nice one.
Yeah.
Okay, we were in the stitching Almas, and we were just like, literally everyone was just piling up these bolts on the cutting table to the point where the lady was like, I have no room to cut. So
had to move everything.
Yeah. And everyone very, very, very kindly let me get their loyalty stamps. And so I said to the lady behind the counter, I was like, can I be really cheeky and if they don't mind, have their loyalty stamps? And it was just like, yeah. I was like, obviously, if anyone fills up a card, use it on their order. She's like, of course. I ended up getting like 5 loyalty cards, so £25 off my order.
That's awesome.
We went nuts, didn't we? So
that's awesome.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
Touched all the fabrics.
And like I say, I will show you mine at another point. Now this one I did pick up for a dress for me, and then I put it back again, and I'm kind of regretting it. But I happen to live on the island where the shop is. So this one is gorgeous. It's a Moda print. Very beautiful.
Very nice.
Very beautiful indeed. I do love Moda.
Yeah, me too. I kind of feel like it gives a little bit of a 60s vibe.
Yeah. It's kind of sort of Rifle Paper Company in kind of like there, but it's just so pretty. So pretty.
Yeah.
And what colours do you think you might pair this one with? Because again, the blue looks really nice with it.
The blue for sure. All 4 actually tones of the blue would work.
We've got our Hiraeth more pieces cut out so far.
We do.
Yeah, the blue would look nice.
The tan for sure. I think you have some tan down here somewhere.
I do have some tan.
The tan. I love tan and blue together.
That's nice.
That's going to be really nice.
The one piece of my yellow bag that I've got done so far.
Oh, the mustard would work really well.
That looks really nice.
It's got some mustard flowers in here.
Yeah, that's really, really nice.
And that rose gold too, because this flower. Oh my gosh.
This is
inspiration.
This is the only part of my pixie bag that I've got done so far. Isn't it gorgeous? Let's hope the rest is as successful.
Now I'm very excited to use this. And the next one is one that you also got, right?
Yes, I got a little bit of this next one too.
It's directional, so be careful.
Oh yes. It has leaves on it. Who's shocked? Hands up, who's shocked? Beautiful leaves. So it's kind of like the Latin names of the leaves underneath of it. The ones I recognize are the ginkgo plant, and that's about it. But they are really, really pretty. And you first saw the one with the flowers on it, and then it was just like, oh look, there's leaves.
Yeah, and the green really popped out to me because I'm very into green right now. So mustard for sure would look good with that.
Yeah, that does.
And tan,
nice.
Of course.
And the beige one that you had the other day as well. The beige would look really nice with this.
I think I have beige with me, but it's in cut form.
That's okay. It's going to be a sky at some point, isn't it?
It is going to be a sky. Correct. Here's the beige.
Oh yeah,
it does look good.
That looks
that's
really
not hard
nice.
Though to make more look good with
actually
things.
And the olive as well would look nice with this as well, wouldn't it?
I only got 1 meter, so
I got half a meter. I think again. I'm glad I live on the island where this shop actually is.
Yeah.
So,
and
very beautiful.
The only other one was this one,
which is another kind of
line drawing flowers.
Really pretty. Would you put this with the anthracite?
Charcoal. Yeah, charcoal for sure. And then maybe the Bordeaux would look very good.
Sorry, is it Bordeaux?
It is Bordeaux, yeah.
Yeah, that would look really nice with this. Actually, and again.
Mustard, blue.
Yeah,
whatever you want, really. It's black and
nice.
white, so it'll go with pretty much anything.
So that's Erica's little Isle of Wight haul. Have you, apart from the ones that we're going to use today, have you got any of your Isle of Wight fabric left? Have you used all of it from your last trip?
I have scraps. Last time I got that kind of woodland creature one, and like there was a fox here and an owl here and a raccoon here, and I've just strategically kind of cut them out a little bit, and if there's an animal left, I've kept the scrap. And it's been great though, because I did have a custom order for a small bag, and she's like, if you have any fox prints, I'm like, I have a fox left.
I actually have a tiny fox.
It was very special.
So right, let's catch up with the chat because we are very far behind. Let's see. Lisa says, good evening, everyone from Australia. Josephine says, hello. Read that one. Sewing Nerd Confession says, good morning from Florida. Good morning. Paula says, hello, peeps. Missing you both already. Miss you too, Paula. Glad you got home safe. Tristan says, as long as you are touring the US, you might as well swing through Nashville. See?
Nashville?
I'm going to be there for a year. So be awesome. Like I have to fly out after 90 days and then come back again or something like that, isn't it, for the visas?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's some restriction for actual length of stay that I'm allowed. So yeah, wouldn't actually be a year, but yes. See, this is the trouble. Everyone's just like, come and see me, and it's like I want to see all of you. Nimue says, miss all of you guys already as well. My sewing room is lonely. But you've got us waffling in your ear, so. Next best thing. Anna says, good morning to Rachel. How are you? Kathy says, good morning, Sean. Happy Mother's Day to the US peeps. I think it's basically everywhere else in the world apart from the UK.
Oh, really?
I think we worked it out that everywhere in the world is celebrating it today. So it's just us that's early. Paula says to Nimue, good morning. Really pleased to have met you. Anna says to Debbie, hi, lovely, and also hiya to Nimue. Nimue says to Paula, same here. It was wonderful meeting you. Debbie says to Anna, hi, Anna. Haley says a cognac color would look really good with that. Yeah. All of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
I kind of think the tan is sort of cognac, isn't it?
Maybe a little lighter.
Yeah, but this goes everything.
There is a dark brown Mora.
Oh, good grief!
So that'll probably take care of that.
Oh, good grief! I'm gonna end up with an entire Mora collection as well. I mean,
I have one already.
Yeah, you have all. I mean, you are a bag designer,
Yes.
so it's completely acceptable for you
Right.
to have the entire collection of Mora, and I make them for myself. And how many bags does one person need? Although, if anyone tells me I have too many bags, nobody needs that kind of negativity in their life, so I have to think of that as well. But yeah. Let's see, where do we get to? Nimue says hi to Anna. Marissa says hello everyone from Brisbane, happy belated birthday, and hi Erica.
Hi.
And good evening, Marissa. Yes. Anna says to Paula, it was lovely to meet you. Michelle says shocking. I think that was just the fabric buying, or that it's got leaves on it.
Yeah.
Johanna says good morning everyone. Paula says got my, where did it go? I've lost it. I've lost it. Where did it go? Here we go. Got my second bag finished this morning. Took it out on its first shopping trip. Very nice. Yeah, Paula managed to make 2 bags, one for her mum, one for herself. And the only thing she didn't get done was her straps, which was very impressive.
Yes.
Rachel Lynn says, you got leaves. No. Lyndon says, thumbs up. Thank you. Yes, 111 of us and 44 likes. Rachel Lynn says beautiful fabric. I mean, for all of them, but yes. Lyndon says good evening everyone from the Philippines. Good evening.
Hello.
Nimue says definitely have to fit the fabric shop in on my next visit, but I did get some very pretty fabric, didn't I? You did indeed. Nimue got some of the Orion Nebula silk.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. Yeah. I mean, if you interface that enough and did it for an evening bag. I did line Big Bird's wedding NCW with the peacock cat fab pads.
Oh,
because it was the bridesmaids fabric. Let's see if I can get it out. This one, it was the bridesmaids fabric.
Yeah.
And her dress was made in
I remember
turquoise the blue. So I lined the NCW in this, but it would not be something that I would recommend for a well-used, well-loved, all the time, everyday bag. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
And do peony silk. So yeah, it's one of those like, don't put actually anything in this. Just poke something out the other end. Whoops.
I don't see it at all.
Oh well, never mind, totally fine. I think everyone's decided for their next trip as well. They're all going to stay a little bit either before or after or both. They're going to add a couple of days on either side because there's so much lovely things to do on the island. That it's worth it, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's nice. I mean,
absolutely worth it.
It totally makes sense for you because you're coming so far.
Yeah.
But also, like Nimue, as we said, was coming from Germany. So, like, if you can add a few days on before and after, definitely worth it because it's lovely. Right. Haley says, love your fabric choices, Erica.
Thank you.
It was narrowing it down, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
If you didn't have like luggage limits to think about.
That's exactly what it was too, because I usually just say I like this one, it's going on my pile, and I don't narrow things down.
Yeah.
But this time, it all has to go in the luggage.
Yeah. And you come over with like a suitcase of fabric, and you're going home with a suitcase of bags.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
So it's not like there's even
it's
stuff that's getting unloaded.
weirder to get that back in.
Yeah. You have to pack your fabric in your new bags.
In the bag, and then put it in the suitcase. Yes.
Kashmir says good morning from New Orleans. Come visit New Orleans. New Orleans,
very cool place to
I want to. I'm gonna have to plan like trips, aren't I? Of like I'm gonna have to do sort of like the Washington, Oregon bit. Then I'm gonna have to do a California one.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna have to do kind of like Nashville and New Orleans, which I am aware are completely different states and very far apart, but kind of in the same vicinity. I want to spend a couple of weeks in Florida because I want to go back to the Keys and I want to do the parks, and I also want to do New York and New England, which again I'm aware that that's two different things, but I want to do New York City and I want to do New England in the fall for the leaf change.
Awesome.
I just need to win the lottery. I might have won the lottery. I bought a lottery ticket yesterday. I haven't checked it yet.
Yeah,
and I've got another one on Tuesday, which is actually 150 million, so I might be able to do 2 trips to America with that.
I'm not going home in that case. You can just
how's this for everyone? Chris will just have to come here.
He will come here. It'll be fine.
And I was going to say he'd have to retrain because he's
yes.
But I mean, if I've won 150 million, he can be a cat man.
Yeah. Oh, you're so nice.
I got 150 million quid. Houses for everyone. So yeah. Yeah, we agreed, one here and one in Scotland. That was the trade-off. You can have your Scottish house as long as you can't have one.
Have one.
Yeah, you got to come spend some time with me
I'm
down here.
Game.
Lyndon says, Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Mary says, Good morning, Sean and Erica. Good morning, Mary. Noelia says, Mother's Day in Spain is always the first Sunday of the month. So it was last Sunday this year. Oh. As I'm Spanish, but I live in England, I like to celebrate both days. I think that is wise, Noelia. Very, very wise. I would do the same. Chiana just looks at me like she's my cat baby, and she just looked at me this morning just like, why you disturb my slumber? Okay, I'm sorry. Elena says, there's no such thing as too many bags. Agreed. But I also kind of am running out of space to store everything. My cupboards in my room are very, very deep. But there will come a point where nothing more is going to fit. It'll be like those, the vacuum pack everything in and then put it in a closet and shut the doors, and then the vacuum pack bags like this, and you open the door and it explodes at you. Yeah, that'll be me. Mary says, Erica? Oh, she put Eric, Sean and Eric to begin with. That is a common typo. Autocorrect hates everyone. Nimoy says, okay, food is ready. Back in a bit. Enjoy. Haley says, agreed, Elena. No such thing as too many bags. Paula says, Erica, I found the shop for the vinyl. It's $50 for shipping to the UK.
That's
ouch.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. There's a whole other that's a whole bag of vinyl. Sandra says, hi from Australia. Next trip to the UK, planning on spending some time on the island. Ooh, yes. That would be awesome. Mary says, beautiful fabric, Erica. And Elena says, can you try to go by time zones? You can try and go by time zones in the US. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Start at one side and work my way over. One of the things that I've always wanted to do is a driving tour of America via theme parks, because I love roller coasters. So, I mean, I've got my vacations planned for like the next 20 years, basically.
Yeah, there's lots you want to see.
Yeah.
Another thing that my husband would love to take you to see is roller coasters, and I'll be on the ground eating ice cream and
guarding the bags.
Guarding the bags, yes, because you can't take bags.
Are you not
No, I get very sick.
Okay.
Yes. I get sick in cars.
Yeah.
So I can't do a roller
Mum's
coaster.
really kind and lets me sit in the front of cars, because if I sit in the back, I tend to get very, very, very ill. So I have no idea how I manage roller coasters, but I love it.
Yeah, that's very odd.
Yeah. One of my exes took me to Alton Towers, and we stayed in the hotel there in Splash Landing. So there's a swimming pool kind of like themey park bit as well. And we had, staying there gives you early access to the park. The next day you get an hour without the general public. Ooh. So you can go and do all the rides that usually have the longest queues. And so we went to do Nemesis, because that's my favorite. And it's the one you sit in it and your legs hang and you always think you're going to, and we did that one on the front row twice. And he turned green, and I'm like, "You're right." And he's like, "No, I hate roller coasters." And he didn't tell me until we're in the park.
Aww.
And I'm like, "Oh," I'm like. So basically, I queued up in the single person rider. He queued with me, and then as soon as the single person rider came queue split off, he kind of just went. And I queued up in that, went round.
Do all the rides by yourself.
Which was fine, but I felt awful for him.
Yeah.
But he knew, like, it was nice of him because he knew I was excited about it and he wanted to take me. But because he paid for the whole trip, but it was a surprise. But he hates roller coasters, and it was just like, why would you do this to yourself? Unfortunately, he was also he was the nightmare one that I was telling you about the other day. So
Gotcha.
He had some redeeming qualities, but they really didn't redeem quite enough. But oh my goodness, yeah. But that was I love Alton Towers. I love Alton Towers so much. So yeah, that's like driving trip around America. Because Bianca from the Closet Historian has just done a driving trip. She lives in Colorado, so she drove through the national parks over to California and back again.
Gorgeous.
That looked amazing. And she did it by herself as well. And it was just like, I mean, I'd want company, but it was just like, go you.
Freedom.
Like, yeah. And she'd like sewn her entire wardrobe for it. She knew she was going horse riding, so she'd sewn like a proper jacket, because you weren't allowed to take bags with you. So she'd sewed a jacket that she could fit all her stuff and a camera in the pockets of the jacket.
Nice.
She'd planned ahead, and it was just like, this is cool. This is very cool. I want to do that. Where did we get to? Tristan says Dolly Blade is fun. Dolly World is fun. You might see her there. I want to go to everywhere.
That's Tennessee, so
yeah. This is I just have to come and visit every state. Kerry says, I'm with you, Erica. For no, I'm guessing for the roller coasters.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. Solidarity.
Joanna says, I could meet you at Dollywood, only an hour away. So we're going to do meetups all over the US. Sounds as well. I like this. I like this so much. So, yeah. But this is the trouble. I start planning these trips and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go and see this person and do the thing. And then somebody else is like, come and see me and do the thing. And it's like, oh, that would be so good. And I'm already there. And that's how they end up being 6 months long. Yeah. So, yeah, I need to kind of reel my neck in a little bit. Just a little bit. So, yeah. And so we got some of our Hiraeth cut out last night.
Yeah.
The faux leathery bits.
Yep.
And now we are going to start working on the rest of the fabrics. And as you guys know, these are the fabrics that we bought last time Erica was here, which was 3 years ago. And they've gone all the way back to America and come back again. So, yeah.
So I couldn't leave a second time without making something with them.
But I'm really, because we were going to make a specific bag the same one, weren't we? And I'm really glad we waited because it's going to be even better with this pattern rather than
because this is my pattern.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm a little biased.
Just a little bit, but that's fine because it is gorgeous. Yeah, this is what we're making. Which will be available to you guys very, very soon. Very soon. For those of you that weren't Bag of the Month Club members, it's going to be out on the 1st of June, isn't it? Yes. And Erica very kindly has agreed to do a little kind of interview with me, kind of talking about her inspirations and stuff like that. We went through the questions last night, so I didn't throw anything too, like, mind you, we're filming it and I'm going to edit it. So that if I'd have thrown anything out, and then she was like, shush. Yeah, you did think we were going to do it today, didn't you?
I thought so.
Yeah. A little bit like, ah! So, no, we are going to sit down and do a proper kind of sit down video, and we've worked out it's going to come out on the 21st of May. There will be a giveaway for you guys, which will get announced on the 28th of May. We wrote this down.
Yes.
Well, Erica wrote this down. Yes, the giveaway will close on the 28th of May. The winner will be announced on the 31st of May, and then the pattern becomes available on the 1st of June. So we've planned this all out. So now we just have to execute. Yes. It'll be me that drops the ball if anything goes wrong. So we're going to do that at some point. Maybe this afternoon. Yeah, maybe this afternoon.
Sure.
Although my face is not willing to have makeup put on it again because I wore makeup 2 days in a row and it was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was a huge mistake. My skin is still like, why you do this? So it might be because I always for some reason in my head I like to have makeup on for my proper videos.
Yeah.
Like the waffles I don't mind so much, but the proper videos I just like, because I kind of think that people that aren't like core followers of the channel will watch these things, and I just, for some reason in my head that's, but then what I usually do is put makeup on, film like 8 videos in one day, and then don't put makeup on until the next time I do that. So
that's smart.
Yeah. Yeah. It does at the end of the day's filming, especially if there's been a lookbook involved, it's a bit like
getting in and out of all your clothes and twirling.
Yeah.
That can get hot.
Yeah. Oh, the first time I made the giant mistake of turning the heating on down here, and by the end of it I was just like, and so whenever I do those, I do the twirly bits first because they're the most energetic and the in and out of clothes stuff, and I do not turn the heating on until after I've finished. So yeah, I've learned, at least, I mean, I might make mistakes, but at least I learn from them, kind of thing. So there's 122 of us and 56 likes. Just saying, hit the like button. I promise it helps. Let's see. Where did I get to? Carrie says Vegas is just best. Yes, I really want to go to Vegas. Really want, because I used to be a croupier, so it'd be really interesting to actually go and see it from a kind of like work perspective, not that I would ever want to work there, because there would be no need for me to work there, because the only way English people can get visas for jobs is if it's proven that a US person couldn't fill that role. There's for those kind of like I remember the guys from the slow-mo guys, they wanted to go and work with Rooster Teeth, and for them to get visas it was just like impossible. So he made himself famous on the internet. He got his channel up to like over 1 million subscribers so he could apply for an A1 visa, I think it is, because he's a celebrity, so he's the only person that could do his job, because it was him is the job. But yeah, he wanted to go work with this American company, and so that's how he managed to get around that, because they couldn't hire him and they couldn't sponsor him. I mean, their channel's like over 12 million subscribers now.
I'm just gonna go get 12 million subscribers.
Yeah,
so I can do something else.
Yeah. I mean, like that could be a route for me. Like, say, 25,200 of us now, so only a little way to go.
A little bit. Little ways.
A little bit. But yeah, when they were telling that story, I was just like, this is hilarious. I mean, that's one way of getting a visa.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to go to Vegas, because it would for me it would be a really interesting seeing it, because American games are slightly different to UK games as well. So it would be interesting to see how roulette is dealt over there and things, because I still love it. Just obviously don't do it anymore. So
yeah.
Every now and again, Ruth at Larcombe will hold a casino night at the venue, usually in the sort of winter period, and they'll have a roulette and blackjack table in, and so the dealers, like, once I start, because I handle the chips in a certain way and start throwing call bets to them and stuff like this, and they're like, "You're a dealer, aren't you?" I was like, yes I am. And they're like, "Do you want a job?" I'm like, no I don't. They're like, we need cover for New Year's Eve. It's like,
oh yes,
no thanks.
They would, huh?
But you know what, like, I actually don't enjoy New Year's Eve overly much,
so go make some money.
So I'm thinking maybe I should take them up on it, but I haven't dealt for like 10 years, so I'm really rusty. I don't know if I can still spin the ball, like the muscle memory's there, but I don't know if it'd actually work. But I love roulette. I love roulette. It's so much fun. It's even more fun when it's funny money, and it doesn't matter if you're like yeah. I mean, it's obviously very fun if you're winning. I was telling these guys about when I was playing the other day, and it was just like, the other year it was just like, all the money on the table and I actually won. But if it's funny money, then it isn't just like, I'll just do all the things. Yeah. Where do I get to? Hannah says, I'll come on the roller coaster tour with you.
Yay, nice.
Excellent. Sal says, G'day, Shannon Peeps. Sorry I'm late. Got a note. That's fine, Sal. Kerry says, made that one. What a fantastic bag. Thank you. She is a Hiraeth member already.
Thank you.
Yes. Caroline says, I love that. Lisa says, very nice bag, Erica. I love the strap detail. Isn't it gorgeous?
Thank you very much.
This was a long process for designing this one, wasn't it?
It really was.
But I won't step on the interview questions too much. You guys will have to watch on the 21st of May. Savvy says, I love that scissors necklace. Oh, thank you. It is from a very good friend of mine, and it actually works as well. And she actually had to blunt the blades so that they wouldn't stab people. But yeah, they work. So sometimes they're closed and sometimes they're open. But the link for this is permanently in the description of my videos if you guys ever want one of these. And she does do them in gold as well, which I am very, very tempted about. Very tempted by. And this came about because her then partner's mother is a seamstress and does household curtains and furnishings and stuff for a living. And so she made a charm necklace. So it had the scissors on it, it had a thimble and a spool of thread. So I'm kind of thinking I either want the gold scissors so that I can wear those sometimes, or I'm thinking I want the spool of thread to add to this one with rose gold thread on it. Ooh. Yeah, because it's gold thread.
Okay,
but she
I'm gonna go follow that link now.
Oh yeah, Lauren is lovely.
Yeah,
she's a roller derby girl as well. So she makes skates and the wheels spin on the skates.
Wow.
These little silver ones, and they've got the wings, and you can have your numbers put on. She does some biscuits as well, like the bourbon biscuits that we were eating at Larcombe.
Yeah,
she makes those.
That's
and
cute.
She did I think it was an iced gem that James bought for Nia. So she does really unusual stuff. But yeah, these little scissors are awesome. And They're recycled sterling silver. They're £80, but I think that's
Is it an Etsy shop or her?
No,
own?
she has her own website.
That's awesome.
But the link is in every single video that I've put up, because she gifted these to me very kindly about 5 years ago. And I made her an ECW with frogs.
Yeah, I remember that.
As a thank you. Anna's got some of the frogs on because Anna did the crazy quilting course with Mum. But yeah, she sent this to me as a gift, which was incredibly kind of her. But I think it might be £85 now. But for a solid silver necklace that actually works, like I love that. Yeah. So the only thing is, every now and again, people will be like, "Oh, you're a hairdresser, aren't you?" It's like, no, they're not quite. They're clothes shears. Savvy says, I did a sew along of yours, and now I sew all my own clothes, but I struggle with fit. I think everybody does to begin with, and it's just one of those things that over the years you will learn to fit your own body and tweak what works for you. You kind of got into the sewing bug a little bit, and then you were just like, you know what,
the clothes
bags
garment the garment bug. I've sewn 2 things.
That was my fault.
One of them was what
you said it was watching
it was your fault. Yeah it was. I made 2 things. The first was really just like, hey, how does this work, trying out my new serger. And then I made a second thing, which was probably 4 years ago, and I still wear it. It's just a little raglan. And I brought it.
Oh,
so, yeah. I already wore it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it has lasted, and I bought a lot of jerseys and stuff like that, and thinking I would continue, and I never did. But jerseys work for bags on the outside if you just stabilize them, probably double what I would cotton, or woven. But yeah, so they'll go to use.
But yeah, the clothes making bug never bit you like the bag making.
Never bit me, but the bags got me real hard.
Yeah, thank goodness for us. Hey? Where do we get to the chat? I am always very far behind. Did I read those ones? I think I did. Yes. Sal says, you're talking about Gavin Free. He is great. He is indeed. Pamela says, re-visas, no one could be a Shan except Shan. Exactly. I just need a few more thousands of you to say that to the American government, and then it'll be fine. Sal says, talking about money, I'm about to pay for my most expensive hairstyling at salon in Sydney to get the grey strands that Dr. Strange has, because I'm going grey, so I'm going to have fun with it. Awesome, Sal. That's going to look very cool. Oh,
Tom,
yes, Dad?
I'm taking Mum to Newport in about 4 minutes, okay?
Okay.
What do you want done with Susie?
Leave her in the garden so she can come and go as she pleases.
All right, okay.
Okay. Alexa, off. Mum's going to the opticians later. Where were we? Oh, did you see the Hiraeth that got put up that was Doctor Strange inspired?
Oh, I saw an Alala.
Oh,
was it an Alala?
It was. Yes. No, I'm sorry.
It was another. It was gorgeous. Yes. That's still my pattern, but it was beautiful with the metal strap-ins. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah. Shanova. She does like a lot of
She does a lot of fandom. Yeah. She.
So cool.
It's funny. I met her in your group.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I found out
one of your testers, isn't she?
She's a tester for me, and she's also one of my mods for my group.
Oh, cool.
And she's a good friend and an amazing bag maker. But I met her through you, so that's so funny. Yeah. I found out she did bags not too long after seeing her around the group, and then I'm like, well, you're a friend now. So she might be here a little later because it's the middle of the night where I am.
Yeah. Without, I have to keep saying, like, without sounding massively big-headed, but when we were down here last Sunday with everyone, and at one point it was like, did everyone meet each other because of the channel? And it was because of the channel, which just makes me feel special. Yeah. I also have lovely friends that if I ever get too big for my boots will kind of like slap me down and just be like, I hate this stuff. So there is that side of things as well. I won't ever get that bad, but it was one of those moments where it was just like, I did this.
Yeah. It's all fact. You're not stretching the truth at all. So,
but it just was so lovely.
Yeah.
So Yeah. Tristan says, Savvy good, that's so great. I went to sew my own clothes too. I have managed to sew my first dress. Oh, awesome. Very cool. Dee says, again, fit is one of those things that it will come. Like if you see some of my earlier garments, I have got a video up of my early UFOs. They did not fit me brilliantly. I didn't know about like lengthening the torso and things like that. And you kind of you play with stuff and you do stuff and you work through it, and then you kind of get to the point where you're like, and things start to click for fit. So you do get there eventually. And as I've mentioned many times, I'm super lucky that the Big Four tend to fit me with just that one alteration, and I appreciate there are other people out there that have to make a million alterations. But it's the more you do, the more you kind of realize why something's been done this way or that way, and the more you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. So if I try this. And there are so many wonderful resources on YouTube as well. There's a channel called Made to Sew. It's Anika. She lives in Australia now. And she has amazing tutorials on there for different fitting techniques and changes to patterns and things like that. So highly recommend her channel. Her teaching style is brilliant. There is no like frills or waffle involved. It is literally down to like, this is what we're here for. Let's get it done. But she's got a really good teaching style. So I highly recommend her channel. Noelia says, I'm currently tracing McCalls 7537 in version C and making my daughter her prom dress with different fabrics. This is definitely a case of Sean made me do it. The 7537 is a gorgeous dress. The only thing to bear in mind is that the front neckline can gape a little bit. I haven't altered it. I wasn't initially intending on putting the ties in, but it was very low cut. And then there's also a little bit of gaping here, which I hide with the ties. Totally could pinch a little bit out of that. And I would highly recommend that you line the bodice, which is really easy to do. And I am planning on doing a sew along for that, but I might not be out in time for you, Noelia. But yeah, that neckline is just something to bear in mind and keep an eye on, because the ties for me are integral. I have to have them in because otherwise it's way too low cut, and it is a little bit gapey as well. Michelle says, Bermuda doesn't require visas for Americans or British folks. Ooh. It would be a more expensive meetup, but we have Pink Sands. The peeps could come here for a run for rum swizzles. Just throwing out some ideas.
I love all of those ideas.
Yes, these are good ideas. These are definitely ideas I can get on board with. 100%. Do you see what I mean when I do my hangouts? How yes. I'm like, I'm going to sew or I'm going to cut out, and then you just get like,
no, it's just a chat.
It's just, yeah. I mean, it's so lovely as well, because I mean, I've actually got a real person in real life, but this doesn't happen very often. So it's just really nice to be able to sit and chat with people that are sort of doing the same sort of thing. So this is why I get very little done on Sundays, but I love it. Lisa says, hello, Sean and Erica. I've just tuned in. Sean, you look well and beautiful as always. Thank you. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Sending much love to you from sunny Devon. Thank you so much, Lisa. Noelia says, I'm planning on raising the neckline and I'll definitely line the bodice. I'll be making a 12 for the bodice for sure. Thank you for the tips though. Wish me luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good for the 12. Just that little, you might need to pitch a little bit out of the neckline a bit. And yes, it is very, very low cut without the ties on it. Lisa says, morning, lovely ladies. Happy Sunday. I'm currently slow sewing a Yomoji shirt jacket from the waffle patterns. I sometimes like a project with many steps. I'm really looking forward to this bag because this bag has many steps.
It has some steps.
It has quite a few steps.
It's not my most in-depth pattern. I mean, not in-depth, but even like involved pattern.
Which one would you say it is?
It's a toss-up. I would say Solasta is probably the most steps, and then applique because of the card slots. I do the card slots a very different way than most other patterns.
Oh yeah, we were. So Erica didn't need tuition, funnily enough, for making her a net. Although I did mention two things that were a good idea, didn't I?
Yes.
That you hadn't thought of. So I was like, yes, winner. And we worked out what they both were because I'd forgotten which one of them was. So Erica got on with her own net and then started sewing some skies, and you pre-prepped as well.
Yeah.
And watching her do the card slots was really interesting because it's a very different way. Because like not giving anything away. You need to buy the pattern, but it's a really clever way of doing it. So go buy the
It's
pattern.
still different from applique.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's not the same technique.
So many different techniques for things. Like, we like this. We like this a lot. We were playing around in here last night as well with some of my other faux leathers about which patterns to use for what. I would basically show her a picture and said, how do I achieve this? And she's like, well, try this pattern and do this. It's like,
sounds good.
Awesome. Jennifer says, good morning. How did the handbag retreat go? We'll get here from Australia one day. Awesome. We'll get there from Australia one day. Sorry, your autocorrect was being mean to you. It was so good, wasn't it?
Oh gosh, yeah.
So good.
It was perfect. That extra day was, it just kind of rounded out everybody's projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone finished.
Amazing.
Everyone finished. Yeah. So it was good. It was really good.
Sean forced us to take breaks. Get up. She's like, get up and get out.
My little inner dictator was just so happy.
Yes.
But I know what I'm like. If I'm left alone in a sewing room, I can sit for hours.
Absolutely.
And then kind of like realize when I try and stand up that I've literally frozen in
just
place.
Locked, yeah.
Yeah. So there were enforced tea breaks. There was enforced cream tea lunches and enforced afternoon tea breaks.
All of which we sat outside because the weather was amazing.
And it was warmer outside than it was in the house. It's an old, I say this, it says it on the website as well, Larkin website. It's like, this is an old house. Please be aware of this. Bring layers. Yeah. And I put it in the group, and Ruth, who owns Larkin, was like, liked it as well. And but you're sitting there in the grand hall, as it were, and you're sort of sitting there with your cup of tea. And it's like, it's a bit chilly, and there's a few people outside. And you're like, oh, they must be crazy. It's cold outside. You walk out, it's warmer out there than it was in the house.
Yeah, it was great.
It was lovely.
We sat under palms. Was my favorite part.
Yes, many. And you got your photo with your tree.
Yes.
3 years in between.
Yeah. I went kind of up in the property kind of hugs the coast a little bit, and you go up there. And 3 years ago I took a little selfie with the tree, and then I found the same tree and took the same photo, and I posted it side by side. It was fun.
When you come back next year, it'll be true. Yeah. And the year after that, and the year after that. Spending
make a whole collage.
Spending her money for her. Jennifer as well. Before everything kind of went a bit sideways over the last couple of years, we were planning on a trip to Australia, Mum and I, with Lorianne, to go and see Anika, amongst other people, but to maybe, if we can work it out logistic-wise and also visa-wise, teaching some NCW classes down there. So Australia is another, I think we were planning on doing like 3-4 weeks, because it's another one where it's like, I need to do all the things.
Yeah, Australia is. So, a whole other world.
Yeah, and so far away that again it's like, I'm all the way down here, I'm going to do all the things. So yeah, we even had I think Melanie from New Zealand was like, if you make it to Australia, I will come from New Zealand to see you, because you've made it most of the way. I will make the effort. It's like, thank you.
Good.
Although my uncle lives in New Zealand, and I've never met his wife or 2 of my nephews. He's got three boys. I've only met one of them, who now lives in Singapore, so stop off along the way. Fabric shopping on Arab Street. Thank you very much. But yeah, so definitely need to go to New Zealand as well. See, like, this is why I need to win the lottery, so I can just go fabric shopping and stroking around the world. That's why I'd be a very good rich person.
I was just gonna say, you would put it to good use.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't go to anything bad.
No, and it also wouldn't be one of those ones that was just sitting in account accruing interest with me sitting at home going, oh, I'm rich.
Yeah.
And I won't do anything. I'd be a good rich person.
Good rich person.
Yeah, it would be good. Oh, there would be foundations and charities set up as well. It would be really awesome. Of course. Totally. Just totally dreaming now. But yes, just putting it out there. Lottery gods, Tuesday, got the ticket. Be really nice if it was a winning one. Yeah, it would literally just be me traveling the world to find fabric shops. I'd still sew. I would 100% still sew my own clothes and bags. I totally would. Like, I love it that much. I would still do it all. Yeah.
You won $2 on that scrap tree.
I did, yeah. It paid for itself. Yes. The luck is starting, and it just needs to kind of like, like this, and then suddenly like that, like, like
the graph.
Yeah. That would be good. Sal says, one more thing about money. I got some very small paychecks from Amazon for the sale of the book I wrote. So I am now a paid author. Oh, Sal, that is awesome. Very cool. Very cool indeed.
Paid author.
Rachel Lynn says, what would you say would be a good beginner bag? Would you
Sky.
say, okay, but would you say, because usually people are like, when they say beginner sewing projects, it's like, I make some pajamas or a cushion cover or a tote bag or something like that. If you know how to sew, if you already can make things, which Rachel Lynn, I know you can, then yeah, Sky would be a great one.
Yeah, I don't put skill level labels on my patterns because I truly don't think that should deter anybody from making the pattern. I feel like skill levels should tell you what you're in for, not tell you who should make it. You know what I mean? Like if it's an advanced pattern, okay, then I just have to buckle down and pay attention. And I include all the videos in my patterns. So it's literally like, do this, next do this. And I go from how to interface your fabrics and what interfacings to use and everything. So at least with my patterns, I can't speak for other designers, even though I have made lots of designers' patterns, but at least for mine, I do feel like any skill level can start anywhere. And I would just encourage you to do that, because I feel like if you don't give it a try, like you'll never get to that point where you can, or you won't find out if you can unless you try. So I would like to say start with Sky, but I really would love to see anybody start with any of them, really. So Sky just came out and it's simple.
And it's beautiful as well. We've seen many of them in real life. We like them. Mum's already planning a few of hers. My first bag pattern was like a hobo bag that I embroidered. So, you know, like, let's make life difficult. But that was my choice to make it difficult. The actual sewing of the bag was very simple. And then I decided it needed a matching wallet. So I did the NCW. And I'm doing a video, which will be coming out next Saturday, of all the bags I've ever made. And my first NCW, you can literally scrunch it up into like, you know, like this. It's just like, no interfacing. I mean, interfacing in it, but not like any
stabilizers.
Yeah, it was just, but it was an experiment. And I did do that pattern. And then I thought, well, why am I doing it this way? Surely I could do it this way. And that's kind of how the NCW sew along kind of came about, because there was a few things I was just like, well, this would make it easier for me. So, but yeah, like I wouldn't have necessarily said an NCW is something that everyone should start with, but I did, and it's totally doable. And the instructions are nowhere near as good as the instructions that you write. So
I started with NCW, to be honest. That was one of the first things that I made because I found your videos. And it's funny too, because you changed a lot to work for you, and I ended up changing the cards, the 2 zipper pockets. I changed that to be my own pattern piece too, and now I use that every time.
You do your because I want to do an updated version for the NCW, because I do still change a few more things now, and I really like how you put in the D-rings for if you're making it crossbody. It makes it a lot less bulky for the putting the flap in, because Erica doesn't. I put them into the flap, and Erica does like a long thin with 1/2 inch D-rings, don't you?
It could be 1/2 or 3/4. I made one for Lorianne. And I put them right underneath the flap as it goes over like that. I put them right underneath so that it wouldn't want to tip forward when it was on. And it worked out perfect. So yeah, at least I thought so. I think she likes it.
Where do we get to with the chat? Monica says, I just stopped ironing my French seams to say I am in for Bermuda. Excellent. Nice. Lisa says, I have just finished making myself a batwing top in a mid-weight jersey. Wearing it right now. It's the first thing I've ever made clothes-wise for myself that has not looked handmade. So proud. Awesome, Lisa. That's very cool. Jennifer says, the Australia trip sounds amazing. Please come. It's on the list. It's on the list. The last 2 years have kicked my finances butt, unfortunately. So it might be a couple of years coming, but it is on the list, and it will be happening, because I'm quarter Australian. I want to go and see like family that I've never met in real life before. So yeah, definitely gonna America and Australia on the list. Definitely on the list. Sal says, if you come to Sydney, I would love to meet you and the other peeps. Oh, there would have to be peeps meetups.
Oh gosh,
100%. Same with coming to America as well. Like totally peeps meetups. Yeah. Elena says, Erica, may I DM you later about bag patterns?
Sure, of course. I don't know if you
Lavender and Twine Facebook page.
Maybe we should link it or something.
Okay.
Unless you know.
Yeah.
Unless you know who I am.
Yeah.
Or you can join my group on Facebook.
I have linked Erica's channel in the description of this video. If I haven't, I will do when I come to do the description a little bit later, because I always go back into because the adverts that they put on, if it's a long video, they tend to put like 1 million adverts within the first hour. And it's like, sometimes it's like 20 adverts in the first hour. And if I don't catch it in time, I get complaints about like, oh my God, I love you, but too many adverts. It's like, I don't do that.
Yeah,
the thing does it automatically. So I go in afterwards and I readjust the adverts, and I also add in what I'm wearing, because I always get asked that. And, anything that I mention and then remember to put in the thing as well. Let's see. Marissa says Queensland has lots of roller coasters.
Oh, we're just kind of hitting all of your interests.
Yeah, it's basically the Australia trip ended up being about 4 weeks long, because it was like, I want to go and see all of my relatives, and I want to go see all the things. So yeah. Paula says all the peeps should get together and do a world tour. Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
That's a lot of peeps.
That's a lot of peeps. Descending on all the fabric shops.
Yeah, right. We would just
like the stitching illness yesterday.
Like bees.
Yeah, like descending. No, locusts. Fabric
yeah.
locusts descending on towns and just stripping it of all fabric.
No more fabric.
Yes, it's all for us. Michelle says, if it didn't have to work, I would sew and paint every day, single day. Damn day job. It's a cramping my style. Yeah. I'm so lucky that my day job is sewing. I mean, I made it, but yeah.
Same.
It was like,
agreed.
I want to do this. Simpson family says, hi, Shan, and hi, Shan's companion. This is Erica.
Hello.
This is the bag designer behind Lavender and Twine. But yes, welcome. Nice to see you, my love. Anna says to Paula, great idea. Peeps locust descending on the world and buying all the fabric. Jennifer's here. Hello, good morning, gorgeous people. Good morning, Jennifer. Lisa says, Shan, can you recommend any sewing pattern for beginners for easy sewing clothes? I'm an established sewist, but new to making clothes. Okay. I would suggest for ease of fitting, you want something, and it might sound boring, but like pajama bottoms. Just because they tend to be really easy to fit, and lots of people do beginner patterns for that. Or a flared skirt, like pencil skirts, you have to fit way more, obviously. So a flared skirt, like a half circle skirt, 3/4 circle skirt, something like that. But the trouble is, recommending a pattern like that is really difficult, because it depends on your style. You might not like circle skirts, so you might not ever wear circle skirts. So you want something like anything from Tilly and the Buttons is good, because Tilly writes amazing instructions for her sewing patterns. They are very, very, very well written for beginners. They talk you through everything, absolutely everything. So I would recommend something from hers. I know Paula and Nimaway, I think, were talking about Love at First Stitch in the pizza and pajama night the other night, and just saying, it talks you through from start to finish, from projects to build your confidence and build your skill levels as you go. So it depends on your style, but you want something that you don't have to fit a lot of areas on your body. So if you're just fitting your waist and you have like flare from there, circle skirts are great. And they're fairly quick projects. The only thing you have to remember is you do have to let the bias drop on the skirt. Don't hem it immediately, because you'll end up with a very wavy hem. But that's the trickiest part with those ones. So yeah, I think something from Tilly, depending on your style, not too many fitting points, and have a look for beginner patterns from the indies. The beginner patterns from the big four have so much assumed knowledge in them that whilst they say they're easy and beginner and learn to sew, it's not as clear instructions as like some of the indies are. So that would be my advice. If anyone else has got any other advice, please do put it in. Terry says, planning on coming to Tasmania when you come down to Oz? Absolutely. Couldn't not abandon the little island at the bottom of the country, because I live in one of those, so I have to go and visit the other one. Yeah. Also, I want to see Tasmanian devils. Jennifer says hello to Erica.
Oh, hello.
Jennifer with one N.
Yes.
Elena says to Jennifer, hello, will you have withdrawal next week since there will not be trial days? Oh gosh, you guys are going to be talking about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trials, aren't you? Anna says hi to Jennifer. Hiya, how are you? Jennifer says to Elena, I will since there's no Johnny Depp trial. Anna says, do you think the world is ready for us all? No, Anna, I don't think it is at all. I really don't think it is ready for us at all. I think it wouldn't know. It's like the poor ladies in the stitching elms when the lot of us descended on them again like locusts. It was just like, there was a class trying to be taught in the background as well. We were very respectful, but we were just like, must buy all the things. I think there were, how many of us there were there? There were eight of us, because there were 9 who went home and plus me.
Plus you.
Yeah, so there were 8 of us descending on this very tiny shop, which was very well planned out.
Yes.
But they had smooshed in as much fabric as they could possibly do. And there were little back rooms everywhere. There's the Christmas room. I did go to the Christmas room. Yes, and the trim room as well. So, Jennifer says to Anna, barely awake, it's almost 7 a.m. And Anna says to Jennifer, bless you, hun. Sal says, we'll need an extra seat on the plane for Sean's mannequin. No, don't talk Erica into moving it if I leave. I'm not going to, but do not talk her into doing it. She will not do your bidding. No.
There's always a price. I have my price.
Yeah, no, I can't leave anyone unsupervised because they'll steal fabric and move the mannequin. So just not happening. Caroline says to Anna, nope, definitely not. It would be such fun. Yep. Lisa says, ooh, I'll have her books, Tilly and the Buttons. Just got them out of the cupboard. Maybe I should actually make something from them. Thank you for the help. Yeah, if you've got Love at First Stitch, start at the beginning of it and work your way through, because it's a skill builder. That's the way she wrote the book. She intended it that way. So you'll end up with some projects to begin with that you might not be interested in making, but it will help you get your skill level in for stuff that you will then want to wear out in public without people going, oh, did you make that? Or in the wrong way. You know what I mean. I know what I mean. Hopefully you do too. Anna is laughing at Caroline. Terry says, cool beans. Heather says, good morning from New Zealand. And you're traveling to New Zealand too, Heather? Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have to go to Taranaki at the very least because that's where my uncle lives. So, and then I have a friend that lives in Christchurch as well. So she was my old boss, so you'd have to go and visit her. So yeah, there's at least 2 people that I need to go and see in New Zealand, and then obviously all the peeps as well. Yeah. So yeah, yes. Elena says to Jennifer, also waiting for Rob's first video. Nimue says, I'm back, I've been fed, I have tea. Tea. Oh, bugger. That was why I needed to go to Beachcombers for Mum's tea strainer and teaspoon. Ruth will have rescued it. I will need to email her. That was why I had to go, because I had to go back for the food. Because Nimue had asked for Darjeeling tea, and Mum had a chest of it, which was loose tea leaves. So we had to put in a strainer and like a little spoon that like will let you steep your tea. And they very specifically was told by Mum that I must return them, and I completely forgot. So I need to email Ruth. Yes, thank you. I need to email Ruth later. Marissa says, Tilly and the Buttons indigo dress is a great beginner pattern and is so easy to hack. So when you've mastered it, you could mix it up. Oh, good knowledge. I've only made the Zadie dress from Tilly and the Buttons. I do like her patterns, and as I say, I think they're really, really well written. My experience of the Zadie dress was positive. They're not for me style-wise. Although I do like the Lyra shirt. Anna's made a beautiful Lyra shirt in lots of different ginghams, the one she was wearing with her shoes. The shoes were good as well. It was a very pretty dress. Jennifer says yes to Elena. Lisa says to Marissa, thank you. Elena says to Jennifer, what do you think about the new starting time? And Jennifer said to Elena, it's fine as long as I'm working from home, so it only impacts me on Wednesdays. So we've been waffling for 1 hour and 8 minutes. Wow. That's a lot. See, it's really, we've done nothing other than waffle.
No work.
No work at all.
Okay.
But it's been fun. Yeah. So I did promise that we were only going to do a short one today because we do have a bag or 2 to cut out and get prepped. So I am going to say goodbye. Unfortunately, they will just be me next week. There's no special star guests, which is sad. Which is very sad. But unless I kidnap her and don't let her go home, which is totally possible. Could definitely happen.
You'll see on Sunday.
Yeah. So if she's still here, she'll be like, "Let me out! Please let me go home." That'll be the prayer. Yeah, like you'd be like, "Send help! I'll move the mannequin." But yeah. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the little bit of waffle that we have been waffling at you. Words are hard. I can do them. It's fine. But we are going to call it a day now because we do have backs to cut out. So, like I say, there will be a live waffle next Sunday for you guys. There will be the interview with Erica coming out on the 21st, and there will be a giveaway with that one as well. So keep your eyes peeled with that. And I hope you've enjoyed, and we shall see you all very soon. So bye. It's really difficult to end it gracefully because you have to press so many buttons. Bye.